Ready when you are.
Okay, it's 4:30, Monday, February 5th. We'll start our budget committee meeting. You want to just, I don't really know what item 1 is, Laura.
I just put it there in case there was something to do.
Nothing out of the agenda, so we might as well just start off with Public Works. We have Jason here, so the floor is yours, young man.
Thanks. So I think Matt is going to do personal services, just number 10, and then when we get to 15, I'm going to take over.
Okay.
I just want to go right to page here. Zoom in so you can see. Yeah. All right, so we've made a few adjustments on line 5, which is personnel service and salaries. Again, they have the 4%, but we made an adjustment to a couple of them for market, for a couple of the operators. And you'll see this obviously in Department 82, but in 85, it reflects on 2 different people, Class A operators, which was bringing them to 27 and 27.50 per hour, respectively. So that was the 274 to 546.94.
Say that again. Where am I looking?
274, 547.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's
And
6.
that includes some money for parks and ground maintenance as well.
So is that
We're
paid?
just trying to get them to be a little more
So that's a
comparable
2
to
points
some
for a
other
couple of
towns.
people that you mentioned, the CDLA guys.
We gave them a little bit extra based on the market, what we're seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the grounds maintenance, is that for our people that you're paying that do that?
That is for,
Or is
right,
that
we take
private?
that for Sean, right, Laura?
Sean Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
transfer station.
when we can't get to some of our parks, then that's, I use some of the transfer station guys, and that's where that comes out of.
Okay.
But, so 15 employee costs, travel, we kept the same, $500. Training is the same for right now. Drug testing is the same, so we haven't gone over these line items yet, so keeping everything the same.
When I checked the 2-1 expenses, under that line, you'd only spent $140 roughly.
Which one?
The testing,
Only $140?
that's what I looked up. Am I incorrect or? What they had spent so far?
This year? I think we've done it.
I don't, we've only been charged a couple of times.
Oh,
It's only been a couple of bills
yeah.
so far.
But drug testing those, and you may get 2 or 3 of them that get called within the month.
Sometimes
And
it's
then
just
it might
one.
go a year and a half before they get another one, so
So,
I'm going,
Okay.
and I take Josh's guys too. So there's Terry and Shane now. Shane.
Oh, so you have 2?
2. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So there's 3 or 4 different people that have to go?
Well, now there's a total of 3, 5,
including you.
5 including me, which I usually get picked quite a bit. So. Let's see, 5201, we kept new equipment the same. The 5210 building, we went up $1,000 just from odds ends, things, pricing going up. Culverts, we went up, how much was it, 2,000? Yeah, so an 18-inch piece of culvert is $390 for 20 feet. So that gives you about 25 sticks total, which only gives me about 10 culverts that I can change. So, which really isn't a lot. That's with an 18-inch. With all the rain that we've seen, I've kind of been leaning more towards bigger culverts in our roads for flooding. So,
That's cross culverts, not roadway, I mean driveway.
that's cross culvert. 15-inch culverts are still $280 for 20 feet. You know, if we spent all of the money on 15-inch, that would give me 35 sticks with about 17 driveways that I could do. You know, cutting them in half and splicing them together. But we still do have quite a few 15-inch on hand, so we're getting real low on some 18s right now.
So are these new driveways for new build or just
Nope,
previously
these are all
replaced?
previous, mainly previous. Any new driveway entrance, they have to buy the first culvert, so we stopped, or I stopped selling it to the people, and they have to go get their own,
Oh, okay.
so. Just due to stock, so. 5225 is coal patch. That's still the same. It's still around 142 bucks a ton, which 28 tons, I'm pretty much good for the year. So, let's see here. Hot top. We kept the same at 315,000. So that kind of varies a little bit. They have a couple different mixes, which are 9.5 mix, which is more sand than rock, is 88 a ton. And then the 12.5 mix is about 102 a ton, just so you guys know how much we pay per ton of hot top. So.
And where does that hot top go? Is that doing the middle road work, or is that a separate number that I see?
So
in
the
CIP?
315 is spread out through the town,
Okay.
and then the
The 250 I see for,
capital improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be another section of reclaim on Middle Road with base pavement, and then some other roads that need attention too.
okay.
So, like Ospey Hill and New Dam.
And so where's this 315 go? I mean,
So I have a bunch of roads that I've already,
okay, so
scheduled
that's your
out.
target, you have a target list where that's gonna go?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Subdivisions,
Yep.
you know, Ross Corner Road, Pace Landing Road.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of working our way back into town a little bit. We've gotten
Sure.
some of our farther stuff done, so we don't have to travel up there as much.
Okay.
So,
Pavement life is 7 to 8 years, 7 to 10 years.
yep,
And we're going about 15.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, or more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, some of it's got even more on it.
Yeah.
But, and we've been doing this for the last 25 years.
Yep.
We just aren't putting money enough into the hot top
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive.
to, yeah, I was gonna
You
say,
know.
just can't.
Some of the roads that we can get away with, they call it a one-shot deal, where you kind of put 1.5 inches of mix on it. It's a low-traffic road, somewhere like Ricker Lane, which is right beside 38 West.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not gonna get a lot of heavy truck on it. You can get away with a one-shot there. So that's,
That's what you did at Star Hill a couple of years ago. You only did one layer there, up on the newly paved
dirt
part.
section.
Yep.
yeah. So that's all been covered.
Yep.
So we got 2 layers there. When we did the last year, we did Star Hill
Mm-hmm.
to finish the road.
Mhm.
We did a shim and overlay.
Okay.
So it's filling in all the voids, making the crown of the road nice and smooth, and then they can just go right over the top of it with another inch.
Mm-hmm.
So gives it a better ride, makes it last longer. So. Sand and salt, let's see, we stayed the same. So just so you guys know, I've ordered around 1,500 ton of salt already this year at $76.30 a ton, which is around $114,450. So we budget for around 2,000.
So is that carryover included in the 190? Or is that over and
The
above?
carryover was
That
from
190 does not
last.
show the carry forward amount.
Yeah, the carryover was from last year, and I think it was
It was 68,
68 something.
885.
Yeah.
And right now you have, well, minus any bills, 216, 431 and change remaining in sand salt.
Yeah. Where we just got another $32,000 bill, so.
So whatever you've already got right now needs to come off of that.
Yep. So we've hauled around 1,300 yards of sand at $4 a yard, so that's pretty cheap. I mean, that's 5,200 bucks. So we're lucky that Dayton has not gone up on pricing sand for some reason, but I'm not gonna mention it to him. Our signs are the same, I believe. Yeah. The PPE is, we've gone up 600 bucks. That's so we can buy some of the guys, some, you know, like an extra winter jacket if we need it, or some winter hats, you know, something that the town can provide for them. Gas and diesel. So we went down about $9,000. Last year was, you know, diesel was around $5 when we did this, so we were kind of nervous. So we've gone down tremendously. So on-road diesel's at, you know, we budgeted for around $4.25 a gallon. So with 3,400 gallons that we use, it's around $14,450. Off-road diesel is around $3.75 a gallon at $35.50 per gallons. We're at around $13,312. And then there's 2,000 gallons of gas at $3.05 a gallon. It's around $6,100. So I think we're pretty safe there. We're about 32% spent.
Yeah,
I think.
35% right now, but, so we're assuming it'll be okay, given the fact that we're just over 50% of the year.
Yeah.
Spending budget, so.
You know, diesel just went up to around $4.20, so we'll see how that plays out. Licenses are the same, $750. Down to utilities. We found that we still had quite a bit extra left in our electricity line, so we're down about $1,500 on our electricity. So we're down to $2,700. Same with heat. We went down about $500. So today's price, I think, is still around $3.29 a gallon. So we went to 6,000 on that. Telephone stayed the same. That's internet, garage, and cell phone reimbursements for myself and my foreman. So 30 repairs and maintenance is vehicle went up around $500. We've gotten a new, a used dump truck that we purchased, and another newer truck that hopefully we don't have to put any money into, but if something does go, we have the funds available.
Where are you, how much have you spent out of that account so far this year?
I didn't even bring that.
Which line?
That is
5405.
5405?
Yeah. I think we're around like 14.
30% spent.
You've only spent 30%. Do you see yourself spending the entire amount by the end of the year?
One break will probably sink a lot of it, but yeah.
That's the problem with that.
How many vehicles is this?
Yeah, how many does it cover?
We have 7 now,
Okay.
Okay.
so, yeah. And 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are diesel. So anything with
One or two
diesel
catastrophic
is $1,000
issues.
just to go to the shop, so. Mowing, that one's gone. We put that into the equipment line. So 54, is it 5422? We went up $1,000 on that. That's all the sites around, all throughout the town. Library, Friendship Park, this place, our place, Josh's place. Mill Pond is a spot over there, Lions Field, so.
So is that privately done? Or
What?
by you guys?
The maintenance?
That's not the private contractor, is it?
That's if we have to do, if we can do some of it, we do it, but if it's bigger stuff, that's gonna take a long time to do, we'll sub it out.
Because you brought K&K in.
We brought K&K in, we brought irrigation design, Bill Single, he
Yep.
did the, irrigation on Friendship Park, the baseball field.
And those funds will come out of this,
Yeah.
this number, okay.
Yep, so all the fertilization and irrigation stuff, if anything happens, that's where that kind of comes out. Equipment have stayed the same, 5425.
What's that mean? What is it?
That's maintenance on all our equipment.
Okay.
So, excavator, backhoe, our sidewalk, roadside mower machine, skid steer. Yeah,
Good.
all of that stuff, all the good stuff. We replaced a windshield wiper on the holder. That was $200 just for the wiper. Let's see, where are we? Radios. Radios stayed the same. That's for the repeater that we have in our trucks. Building, that stayed the same. At 10,000, that's just for maintenance on our building. We did have a water heater go not too long ago. We were able to save some money and replace that ourselves. But we're gonna be doing some insulation too in the old building to save on some heat. Town roads, so that one went up a little bit. Where are we on this here? Ditching went up quite a bit. We need more help with ditching with outside contractors. We can only get so much done. So, that just gave me a little bit more money to bring in a bigger contractor if I need to get a road done, prepared before pavement, and I just can't finish it in time. I need a little bit extra help. The brush and tree work's the same. Poyer guidelines, which is road striping, that's the same for now. He did say he was probably gonna be going up here in the next year or two, so we can get away with some of the roads not painting every year, but I think we'll be all right there. And then we don't have the roadside mower anymore. We have the new machine for that. Estimated the flagging, which was about 288 hours of flagging at $34 an hour. So, which really, you need two at the same time, so you're only getting about 144 hours. And that's on roads where I can't get some of the transfer station guys to help flag. Just Osby Hill, New Dam, some of those bigger roads that we need flaggers on. So,
One thing I wanted to ask, the sweeping, where's that? I mean, obviously here.
oh, I skipped the sweeping, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It went up $1,500, I'm just sort of curious.
Yep, so we've gotten a new contractor, this year. We had to jump ship in the middle of season last year because Shom decided that they weren't gonna call anyone back. And so through our paving guys, they gave me a recommendation on a guy, and he was more than willing to come out and start at 4 AM in the morning for us to help us out to finish the rest of the town, so.
Sure.
And then 2 months ago, Show'em finally called and said that we sold out. So they're no longer in business, so we'll be with the guy that helped us out now. He's a little bit
So
more
is this
expensive. but-
primarily the spring cleanup, for
Yep.
lack of a better term?
Yep,
Get rid
it's
of
sweeping all the
winter salt,
developments.
all that, okay.
Yep.
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 And why do you sweep the roads, just so everybody knows, but why?
That's,
What's the benefits?
that's, why do we sweep them? For, you know, motorcycles, so they don't crash, people walking, they don't slip and fall into the road, and just cleaning up, you know, it gives people honestly a good chance to sweep all the winter sand off that's been landed in their grass. They can sweep it into the road, and we'll come around and sweep it right up.
And I'm assuming there's benefits not to have it in the ditch too, correct?
Well, yeah, once it fills the ditch up pretty quickly, so.
So would it be cheaper to use more, I know salt costs more per ton,
Yes,
but would it be cheaper as far as maintenance wise, when you're talking labor, maintenance on the vehicles, time and labor,
yep.
to use
I would love to
salt
go
more
salt
often?
priority through the whole town, but you're always gonna need
I'm not
sand.
saying you're not gonna need some, but
Yeah.
as much as we're using,
So take your development, for instance, there's
Yeah.
there's no reason to have sand in your development
our
unless we
development
have,
looks like a dirt road.
like 3 inches of ice. You know, you're gonna have to put some sand down. But
Yeah.
some of the roads, like up by Dwayne's house, the hills, the corners, you're gonna need sand for traction for these people a little bit, but
But when you look at what it costs to clean it up as compared to what it would cost per ton for salt, does it equal out, or is it more for cleaning up cleaning up sand than it is just
I mean,
having it
it's
taken
pretty-
care
Very
of?
close.
yeah,
Very
it's
close.
close. But
And the salt prices had gone up quite a bit.
the salt prices dropped this year from the year prior. We got into a good bid this year, so I was able to save $2 a ton, which adds up, you know?
Yeah. But just the cleanup costs and wear and tear on vehicles and labor and everything.
Yep, yeah,
I would
because
think
we
it would
don't
be
count,
More salt.
we
A
don't
lot of
count
towns use
us,
more
our
salt.
labor in with that and the fuel and
Yeah,
the running around. So it's more than 9,000,
yeah.
so
The,
it's about 3 days straight.
yeah. I'm gonna add to it, when they get, if they get their public works trucks of their own, every one of them trucks ought to have a tank on it, because there's such a thing as liquid with this salt. And it doesn't, the salt doesn't bounce.
It's a wetting, it's a pre-wetting system.
Pre-wets it, and it doesn't bounce off the center of the road.
It's like the brine they use on the
The brine?
turnpike, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it
It's
similar
very
to that?
similar.
Yeah.
But
Yep. It activates it right away.
Okay.
That's what the wetting
It
system
takes,
does.
within 4 or 5 minutes, this stuff is working.
Yep.
When you're adding the liquid. Whereas some of this salt doesn't work, salt doesn't work unless it's got water or liquid to it. So if you haven't got the liquid and the road ain't melting, at 20 degrees, it doesn't start to melt.
Oh, I understand there's
So,
gonna be a time when
yeah.
you're gonna need the other.
Half of that
Just
salt
water.
has ended up in the ditch line before it starts to work. So,
Have you talked to them about dropping and then plowing it up and dropping it again when they're going around the cul-de-sacs?
It's like beating a dead horse.
But it's costing us money
I know.
for that dead horse.
Yeah, yep, I do, and you know, you guys have a new driver, have you noticed him being better?
A gentleman?
He's,
The older guy?
the older guy's doing a better job than the kid did.
Is he spreading the same amount of sand?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of sand on that road. You could probably fill a 1 ton.
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, it's hard to, it's really hard to control that.
Plowing it as
he's plowing with less than 10 miles an hour, whereas that other truck probably was doing 20, or some of these higher
Right.
speed roads, the faster you go.
And the problem is, it's remembering to turn your spinner and your chain down when you go in there. But then you gotta remember to turn it back up to normal when you're on the higher speed roads.
But I guess the question is they come in plow and they're dropping as they go around, but as they're still going around, they're plowing up what they just laid, and then replowing, and then replowing, so they drop every time they go around that circle.
Yep, I've mentioned it several times, and it's hard. I can't be
No, I understand.
there
I
all the
understand.
time.
But it just costs
Yep,
everybody here money
yep.
that, when they do that. Exactly.
When that gate is set like that, you got a certain amount coming out, but when you open that gate up on the back of that truck and open it up, you get twice as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Some of them gates they can't open and close, they're
Right.
welded to where they are, so.
And they
That's why-
do that for a reason, because some of the drivers like to dump more salt to get it, to go home early. So,
West Road.
I usually sit at the shop a lot and say, okay, we're not using salt yet, we're still using sand salt,
Yeah,
so,
I would rather see salt, but
yeah,
it's less to clean.
yeah. I agree. So, where are we? Contractual services. So software stayed the same. That is Text My Gov and my iWorks that I use on my iPad. The iWorks, I can track culverts that I change, culverts that need to be changed. I can track where our catch basins are. It's just a nice little piece of equipment that helps. Crushing's the same at 20,000. Engineering is 0. Plowing went up 2%, so we're at 742, 560 this year, which is about 14,500 more than last year.
And the number, just so you're aware, in the box A is, it's an incorrect number, that's from the previous portion of the contract, I just assumed that, we didn't catch, we need to update that number, the 560K.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The unclassified toilet rental is 1,500 still. And incidentals, we brought down,
What is incidentals?
an emergency comes up, basically, which, that's why we dropped it, just because we haven't used it that much, knock on wood, so. We're pretty prepared when we do all this, that we got enough money in there in case of that, so.
Really for those unknown issues,
Yeah, basically. So,
or if you go over in something else, it'll give us a little bit of buffer.
yeah.
Okay.
But that's it for me.
Well, it's pretty good. I mean, you're only showing 2.4% increase overall.
Yeah,
With a 6% labor bump in there, that's pretty good. You're doing what you can do.
yep, we tried to stay pretty even.
Any other questions for Jason? All right, thank you, Jason, I appreciate it. And we will move on to Josh,
Hello,
so we can talk about the transfer station.
are you doing personal services or am I doing those? or-
And just so you guys know, we apply the same formula across for line 5. And also, he has one driver in there that had the adjustment to align with the same from Jason's department as well. That is, and he's at 28.
Still pretty, it's only 3%, so it's,
But just wanted, so you guys were
We're still
aware
low.
where they were about.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
we're trying to get there slowly.
Slow and steady.
it works.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to 505 overtime. Didn't put a change in there. Kept that at 10,000. The retirement, 7,832. We dropped that down a little bit. That was something that we over budgeted for last year, so we just dropped it down a little bit this year.
Did you have money left over from last year?
I don't-
Yeah, so right now, we're only at 25.75% expended on the year for that.
Okay.
We identified that retirement lines were all, were higher than what they would need to be. So we've adjusted them all accordingly. And everything went down, retirement lines.
So if there's left in there, is that going to the general fund?
Okay, well, yeah, it'll go as a circle.
It was the same reason that Jason's went down as well.
The calculations were not correct.
Okay.
All set?
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, 15 employee costs, 5,100 travel, that's for DEP training. Different events throughout the year I have to travel to. No change there. Training, that is basically, signing up for the training and what for. No change there. 5125 dues and subscriptions. We only have one subscription, that's Maine Resource Recovery Association. Previously it was $300, they're going up to $5, so we adjusted that. 20 supplies, office, no change. 5230 hot top repairs, pavement, that's basically for an apron around the oil building. The building we have now is too low, it wasn't built to the grade of the pavement, so we get a rainstorm, all the water runs in, fills the containment. We bought a pump because we can't have it's basically a containment to contain oil. If the oil ever flows over, we can't have it full of water, so that's what that's for. It was either that or tear the building up and move it somewhere else. This is the cheaper option. 5240 signs, no change there. That's just, signs around the facility. I need to replace, as of right now, demolition and metal pile, and they get stilled up pretty good. People run into them, people aren't paying attention. The wind blows them around because they're rather large signs, so they start wobbling. Not a lot of trees around there to slow the wind down. 5246 personal protective equipment, no change there. And if you figure that out, it's a little higher. We left some money in there last year just to get the guys, rain suits, extra protective gear. Like a week or so ago, we had that real nasty weather. It's nice to, everybody has a rain jacket because you can't stay inside all day, so. But we didn't change that line, we just kept it the same. 5250 fuel for roll-off truck. No change there, even though we are adding the new roll-off truck. That'll be in Maine, February 14th. From there, we need to send it to Hughes to get the hoist put on it. One of the trucks is basically gonna be in the yard swapping cans when the other truck is out on the road hauling. So I don't think we need to, as of right now, we don't need to go adding anything to that line. See, because we're only 36.77% expended right now on the year, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Oh, yeah. 5270 licenses, DEP. We pay yearly for our storage facility license and our compost facility license. The storage facility license this year is $400, compost is $300. 5945 roll-off compact container, new, that's for a new 40-yarder. Usually every year you try to, some of the cans we have are 20, they've been here forever. They get to the point where you can't just keep patching them. It's cheaper to buy a new one. You could spend $10,000, $12,000 repairing one, or you can buy a new one, so.
Well, what's the lifespan of those things?
Well, they're steel, so,
Yeah.
I mean, you can always keep, patching holes but they rot out,
Yep.
along the bottom. Once the frame along the bottom kind of rots out and there's nothing to weld to.
So do you have like a plan, you're gonna buy one every couple of years? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
okay.
it just kind of, as they get old, just
Shuffle them
recently,
off
we
as
had
you
one,
need
we loaded it full of #1 steel, scrap metal, put it on the back of the roll-off truck, drove it in and ran it over the skills, there you go.
Yep.
You know, basically it was scrap,
Sure.
so.
How many containers do you have altogether, Josh?
Right now, including the ones we have at the schools, we have 24. But they're not all, you know, the single sort compactor cans fit single sort, they don't fit household trash. They're, you know, they're two different compactors, they have different dimensions. Right now, we only have 2 that fit recycling. One of the cans that we had, we ended up taking over to the school because the can that we had there, the bottom was, you know, pretty much gone. Usually when the can gets to the end of its life, it goes, we use it at the schools because it's only going from the school back to our facility. We don't haul them direct, so.
All right.
How long does it take the school to usually fill one up?
Yeah, 3 weeks to a month. They don't have a compactor for single sort, so it's all, you know, hand thrown.
Okay.
So on a compact can, we can get 5 ton, you know, 4.5, 5 ton with recycle. Maybe a ton, ton and a half hand thrown. So that's why we haul them back. It's just a waste of money to drive it.
Yeah,
But about a month,
okay.
And we do have a contract with the school.
yep. And that'll, you know, this spring, we'll look into that and adjust the contract as we need to be, you know.
Are you finding it's gone up this year?
Yeah, I'll
What
get to
they're,
that.
yeah.
Are you talking what the rates will be?
No, what they're sending over. Are you finding their tonnage is going up more, or you can't really tell
Not
because
really,
you don't
yeah,
measure
you
it?
can't really tell because we bring it back and we dump it right into our compactor, so we
Okay.
compact it right into the load, so.
Okay,
They may call, or usually they'll, 2 forms of contact, a phone call and an email so that I have a paper trail. And we just get them on the schedule when I can get them, you know, we come first, not gonna, you know, put ourselves behind, so.
No.
But it's been working out fine, I don't think there's been any issues at all.
okay, good.
Yeah, 25 utilities, electricity, no change there, staying at 10,000. Heat, that's for the Quonset hut propane heater. We have the 3,500 BTU propane unit on the wall. During the winter time, the cans freeze. So we pull a can, we can fit 3 in the Quonset hut. So we'll have 3 to haul the next day. If you leave them outside, they freeze solid. They don't dump.
Wasted trip.
Waste of trip, waste of, you know, if you get to Eco Main and it's busy and you sit in line for an hour, and then you get in and dump and the can doesn't dump, you wasted, you know, 2 hours of your day just doing that, so.
Who's delivering that
That's full.
propane?
What's that?
Who's delivering that?
JP Carroll's. Yep. And if you look at that line in the budget we're in right now for the heat, it says we've only used 11.56%. Well, it had previously been not a bad winter. When it's cold, we burn through it. I just had it filled, and 13 days we went through all of our propane. They had to come back, and so when it's really cold, we burn right through it, you know. Telephone, 5320, no change there. That's just the reimbursement. 30, repairs and maintenance. Vehicle roll-off truck, skid steer, loader, backhoe. That's for the 5405. That'll have 2 roll-off trucks on it. 15,000, no change there. I'm hoping that the new truck, we won't have to replace anything.
We can
on it.
hope.
So, it'll be good. Anytime we have to go somewhere questionable, we'll just switch trucks and, you know, because tires are expensive and the backhoe we have now is getting to the end of its lifespan. We're teetering right around 5,000 hours right now. It's actually being worked on as we speak. It's been having a lot of electrical issues, sensors, stuff like that, so I'm hoping that that doesn't clean that line out, but we'll see. 5435, building repairs, that's basically just for, you know, we have, basic maintenance of the Quonset hut, the office, the oil building, the outbuildings around the back, the single sort compactor building, and the household compactor building. I know Diane's been one with the single sort compactor, the roof. You've been on me about that for a couple of years now, well, trying to finally get some of this stuff done.
Yeah, that's where I think the money you take in should stay with them.
For what?
For any repairs or whatever they do, the money that they take in, that they charge the residents, should stay with them and not go into the general fund at the end of the year. So they can have it for roll-off truck, repairs, whatever they need up there. The
Well,
120 that they put.
Essentially is, it's going back into the operations, because that would work, I guess, if you're bringing in excess of what the operating budget is, but
But if they bring in 100, say 100,000 a year, why can't that stay with them for whatever they need for some of these repairs and things like that
we still have to budget those dollars that are in the budget, so even if we need a
for
budget.
the next year?
Right, you still have to budget those dollars to expend them.
But whatever he has this year, if he has $50,000 during the course of the year, he could use that instead of coming to you if he
Isn't
needs
that
to
getting back
repair
to him
something.
anyway?
It goes
Through
through
the
the budget
budget
process.
process?
Through the process, I guess.
Doesn't
I
it-
hear what you're saying. but I'm
Doesn't
not-
it go into the general fund, what he has at the end of the year? Doesn't that go back into the general fund again?
General fund, but you're taking it back out.
Right, because you're taking that to offset the budget dollars to begin with. I mean, essentially, if you look at the funding mechanism in the back of the warrant article, all those funding mechanisms are already accounted for, so whatever he has that he's bringing in, it's going back into transfer station to reduce those costs already.
Okay.
So he's still
So he
using
can
this.
come to you for whatever he needs out of the general fund
We can't
during the
ex-
course of the year?
We can't expend money out of general fund unless it's appropriated.
Unless it's been approved for the townspeople.
Okay.
But you'd have the same thing, and then you're gonna get into I hear what you're saying, but you're gonna get into an awful controversy because your code enforcement is a great fund, money coming in, but why can't he spend his own money?
I think the money they take in should stay with every department at the end of the year anyway.
And it essentially does now, because when we break it out for the revenue sources coming in,
Mhm.
that's what's offsetting those budget dollars. So his budget request is, what's your total? 857, 120, Josh?
Yeah, 857.
And your revenue is, what's your total revenue?
I don't know what we're at right now. I want to say, do you have that, Laura?
Yeah, we got it right here. Oh, you got it.
Whoever beats.
Around 300.
I didn't bring it with me.
Stand by.
Oh, it's just general. This is just a summary, so I don't get to see. It's at
In 80?
138.
80, 138,000
Yep.
So-
to date, so.
Essentially, yes, if he was bringing in those dollars, I would agree that they should still continue to earmark those for those other projects, but, out of that total,
I mean, because that could be earmarked for a scale, which would save the town money. A new roll-off truck,
I knew what, yeah.
it could go towards all of that. Any buildings that he needs repaired, any equipment he needs repaired. I just think he should be able to use the money that he pulls in during the year.
But he is, because it's being applied to the
Am I
operating
not
budget already.
understanding?
What's that?
I'm confused with where you're coming from, because I think I understand what you're saying, but I think I'm sort of more understanding what Matt is saying. It's all coming from the same pot. It's just, he has to budget, he has to appropriate his budget for what he wants. His funds are going into that big pot that we're all spending, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean,
That's where we're applying it from,
Yeah.
because we look at the revenue. So when we do the budget revenue for next year, we're doing the same thing. We're looking at what he brings in, and that's being applied to offset the tax rate.
yeah. You know, the
Oh, so
pot-
you're using it to do that?
What's
okay.
that?
So you're using it to offset the tax rate?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all going to offset, any revenues are going to offset the tax rate, so that you're taking all those revenues to apply them to, like I say, so if he's bringing in, let's just say if he goes up another, 50,000, let's round numbers, if he's $200,000 in revenue this year, his operating budget is 857,000 right now, or it's proposed, 830 current, he's still not bringing in more than what he's
It's not
already allocated.
self-sufficient.
Was that?
He's not self-sufficient.
No,
I think that's what
and if
Diane,
he was bringing, if he brought in, let's just say $1 million, and there's $170,000 that, I hear what you're saying is that would be in theory, to say, apply that money to the transfer stations.
Just leave it there.
Projects.
Just leave it there.
Right, not to, but.
Not put it in the general fund, just to leave it there for him to pull from for anything and he needs during the course of the year.
If he was pulling in more than
Yeah.
his expenses.
Without a pay-by-bag or a program like that for your household trash, you could never be self-sufficient.
Well, I don't even mean be self-sufficient, but the extra 120 or whatever you turn over at the end of the year, from what you have taken in from what we pay for like refrigerators and all that stuff, should stay with you.
For updates.
For updates, no, infrastructure,
Yep,
maintenance, yeah.
yep. Vehicles, whatever you need.
And that's how the
Scale.
state does it, I know that, as far as if you go to the meetings and stuff, that's what they talk about, that the operational cost should come strictly out of taxation, and revenue should stay with the departments, but.
And they do, because they do today, because we're not in excess of what the budget is. So if we were in excess of what his operating budget is, then you could easily have that conversation saying that, then you earmark those dollars and say, leave it right there. I don't think that if we're talking about scales or whatever, or maintenance, then we put that into that budget request and say, hey, if we need to plan to spend another $40,000 on maintenance of whatever building it is, then we put that in there so we know that right now. I hear what you're saying, I'm not sure it won't work as smooth as that in theory, I guess. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not sure how we make that work.
I think the theory sounds good, but I think in reality, I don't know if it would work.
It's gonna take your tax dollar, your rate, and put that up another 2 or 3%.
Or more.
Or more, yeah,
By him keeping that.
by
money.
keeping it, or any. of
Keeping
the
that out of the
departments,
general fund.
Keeping their money that they're taking in.
So it wouldn't be deducted off the next year's budget.
Right.
Correct. You don't have that revenue to apply.
And you've got more control of what's going on. If you get the wrong person down there running one of these departments, and it don't have to be the dump, it could be any department here in town, that would be what you'd call a slush fund. And someday, it would bite you, because
The potential.
not everybody's honest is what we've got right now.
So putting the money from the slush fund back into the general fund is what keeps the tax from.
Yes.
Right now.
Okay.
Because that unassigned fund, from the general fund, or some people call it undesignated fund balance, or surplus, or whatever you want to call it, from, when the auditors will recommend, this past year, you took $600,000 additional from the undesignated fund balance to apply to offset any increases last year. So if Josh or Jason came, or
Right.
we had from the fire department, or any of the departments, said, hey, this is what we want to do, or the proposal is, and then you take that $600,000, that gets applied as another revenue source in addition to the other general revenues that we're seeing, so excise tax, any fees that are associated with the customer service lobby, all get pulled together, and then the difference, whatever doesn't come from revenue sharing and whatever the other ones from the state are, but whatever that is in that revenue pot of money, then it gets assigned to the tax code.
And what the accountant has said, started out, we should have 3 months' money ahead, and now he's saying 6, but that's quite a bunch of money. Because that one check, the one that said 57, is almost $1 million a month. 900 and something. I ain't gonna say, because I'm not sure. It's over 900,000.
So what are you looking to offset taxes this year, ballpark figure? What are you looking to pull, like last year it was what, 800,000?
600. We
600?
did 600 the last 2 years. I would assume we'll be close to it.
Close to that, okay.
That's-
The excise tax adds a lot to it, and you can't you have no idea what the excise tax is until it gets here. Right up to June, you know?
Excise tax and revenue sharing.
Yeah, both, and,
And we should see revenue sharing posted, preliminary projections from the main revenue services for the next month or so. March, March, April, that we'll start seeing projections for the revenue sharing portion of their calculations.
Okay.
in your car, a lot of these car sales, when people get their income tax back, they go buy a new car. And that helps the town like a son of a gun, because it's the end of the year, so to speak. You're going from June to first of July, so July to the end of June, so right to the end of June is your excise tax coming into the town.
And I guess if, like on line 28, for building repairs, Josh, if you're thinking we need more than 10 grand in there, which I don't disagree with you, if you think you need that either, but I think what we're budgeting for buildings and infrastructure in the town of Waterboro has been significantly lower than what it should be. And this is my opinion based on what we're seeing. 10,000 is going to go far on a lot of the projects. I think Josh has made it work. A lot of the departments make it work for doing the work internally. But given what we have for infrastructure, it's getting somebody in the building, you're not going to do a lot for that to do the work. So I think we are low, but if you think we need more, then we need to show those dollars and say, hey, if that's a $20,000 figure, then we need to show that. So.
I wouldn't be prepared to even make that.
I'm not saying right this second.
No, but I think
Okay, yeah,
that
that's
what I'm reading from this is that, given the marching orders, for lack of a better term, that was delivered to these guys at the beginning of budget season, budget preparation, was it keep it tight. We're trying to recover from the lack of ARPA money.
Yep.
So let's see where we are after it's all said and done. So
And I think that we also made the statement that if there's things that are needed.
if you need it, you
We
need it.
need
If
to
it's
we need to
needed,
identify.
yeah.
I mean, there's contractual costs that we can't avoid.
No.
But if there's other things that we need,
Mhm.
then I think we need to write those things down.
Sure.
Good.
But
Matt and I and Dennis went to Sed 57 the other day. I wouldn't dare say where they're going and where the state and the federal government is gonna make them.
Mm.
I mean, trying to put these 3-year-old kids into the school system, there's a babysitting service. And it just ain't right, but it's gonna happen.
and he did say 3 years old.
3.
3.
And they're talking possibly, there's a bill up in Augusta with diapers. 1-year-old kid going to the public school, and we're gonna have to transport them.
Yeah, we
It
need a
just
bus
ain't
with all
right.
car seats
It
on.
ain't right.
No, seriously, because the 4-year-olds, we had to put car seats, they had to have
Yeah.
car seats. For
Well,
4-year-olds.
I mean, even the school, the superintendents are dead set against it, but there's 3 bills in Augusta right now in the hopper that they're working on. I thought it was bad when I found out that 3-year-olds they wanted to send, but then when I found out a year-old baby is wanted in their school system,
They had to cut down on daycare costs.
yeah, that's, I mean, we're creating a daycare for anything that's in the state of Maine.
Contractual services?
Roll on, bud. Let's go.
All right. 5619, we're not using that one, I moved that. 5621, oil and antifreeze with per gallon tipping fee, 8,000, I doubled that. Right now, we are at $72.41% expended. They raised their per gallon fee rate.
So is our usage up, or is their, you said they raised their rate, I mean, what accounts for that pretty big increase?
Yeah, well, we are at, right now, Let me get to it, what their rates are raising to, $1.26 a gallon,
As opposed, what was it before?
75.
All right.
So, and we don't charge for this, we take it because we don't want it ending up
Sure.
all around town, and sometimes it still does,
Yep.
We've hauled 3,350 gallons this year. Well, last calendar year, I should say, of oil alone, and 550 gallons of antifreeze. $56.24 universal waste, no change there. That's, your bulbs, your ballast, your electronic waste. We don't pay for TVs and stuff like that, we pay for the miscellaneous, the small stuff, the speakers. Bulbs, different size bulbs, we pay different, cents per foot. You wouldn't think that we'd get a lot of big bulbs, but we do. $56.26, OBW and RC tipping fees, that's gonna be just oversized bulky waste, that's burnable furniture. We'll jump right to that. Some big changes this year with EcoMaine, so. They raised their rates to $97.50 a ton. That's $97.50 per ton, that's a $10 increase. That's gonna be for burnable furniture as well as household trash. So I broke these two down before. Previously, I had recycling and bulky waste in the same line. I've separated them out, so that's why the numbers dropped. If you look down, you see it shows 106,000, and last year I budgeted for 128. Well, that's because it's gonna be two separate lines now. So I'm budgeting for 1,086 tons of bulky waste. That's going off of my last year, calendar year numbers. I take them right off the bills, so. Looking for 106,000 and change. 5627, non-recyclable demo, debris, tipping and sheet rock. 20,000, keeping that the same. In the past, we'd pay a different rate for, like, sheet rock was $88 a ton. Mixed demolition was $124 a ton. Shingles was $99 a ton. Well, now it's all mixed demo. It's all $134 a ton. So, it's all gonna be the same. Luckily, we're saving a lot of money now by keeping the gates closed. If you look back a few years, you'll see we had 57,000 in there one year. We were at one point when we could, it was a free-for-all. People were coming in, dump trailers after one another, and we've really cut down on that, and the numbers have dropped substantially, so. 5631, EcoMaine tipping fees, that's household trash. And like I said, they raised their rates $10 a ton. So I'm judging off of 2,401 tons, and that'll be $235,000 for MSW. $56.35 shingles, I dropped that, $2,000. Like I said, we're not taking in as many, the tonnage, so just trying to save a little bit here and move it somewhere else. We don't have a fuel surcharge for hauling, so 56.37 is no good. 56.38 grinding wood waste and tires. That's for the brush pile, the C&D pile down around back. I think you guys have all seen it. No change there. Whatever I have left over from the grinding is what I use to get rid of the tires. 56.39, there's the recycling single sort. They went up $20 a ton on their single sort recycling. So we're gonna be paying $65 a ton for recycle. Total for the year was 348 tons, so using that, I'm gonna need $22,620. Purchase capital 45, no change for equipment, keeping that at 1,000. 7015 buildings, keeping that at 1,000, and get down to 60 unclassified. Advertising, $100, no change. And 5995 incidentals, unforeseen expenses, 3,000. No change there. That's it. Not really a lot of big changes, just the contractual, some of the contractual service stuff. Eco Main being the big one.
All right, so obviously it behooves us to recycle more. Save us $30 a ton. Is that the bottom line?
Yeah, you're basically recycling, you're saving some money.
Saving $30 a ton
Yeah.
as opposed to throwing it away.
And we have
Which
cheaper
would-
rates being an owner, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, certain municipalities
Yeah.
I've seen across the state are saying the heck with it, which I think is the
Well,
short look,
Yeah,
the short view.
but Some towns, it costs them more to recycle than it does to get rid of their household trash.
So we're in the positive side of that picture,
Yeah.
where it is saving us money.
Mhm.
Still
And
expensive.
there's
isn't
some programs that are in the works right now, they're a year or so out. Extended producer responsibility, I've been going to some seminars and stuff on it. It's something the state's trying to do, basically. It's basically a packing bill on the producers,
it?
kind of like a bottle bill. So all the companies out there are required to show proof of, what they put out for a product and all that. And the towns that are enrolled in the program, at the end of the year, it's all divvied up by, your contribution. So say if your town, out of the total number of tons of recycling brought in, say your town brought in 10% of the recycling, you're gonna get, basically 10% of the pot. It's gonna come back to the town. It's still in its kind of early stages. They're just, working on it. It's something that they started doing over in Europe. I think everything kind of starts overseas and then it trickles. Vermont's doing it now, California. If Maine does it, it'll be the third state to do it, so. But it's still in the early stages, so there are programs that are starting to come around, but too soon to tell.
Okay, any other questions? All right, well, Josh, I appreciate your patience.
No
Very
problem.
informative. So, okay. Let's see where we are. We did transfer station. Why don't we move on then to municipal buildings, Department 35, where the bottom line is 103,250, which is down 5 or 6 points from last year. Line 6, supplies is 12,750. Building cleaning up 1,000. And personal protective equipment 1,000. What's personal protective equipment?
That's uniform.
PPE, shirts,
Okay.
safety glasses,
Okay.
jackets, all that, same stuff that he has and my guys have.
Okay. All right. Gas and diesel, 2750, right where it's been. Utilities are down to 56,000. That reflects line 13, a $5,000 reduction to $40,000 in electricity. $2,000 reduction in 5305, the heat, to 16,000. Repairs and maintenance are at 22.5. 5,400, which is right where it's been, $8,000. The van is up to 2,000, reflecting, I believe, the age of the van. Equipment at 2,500, right where it's been. The building at 10,000. And line 20 at $12,000, which reflects 5915, an increase of $500 at 2,000 for the traffic light repair and maintenance, and the emergency fund 5976 remaining at 10,000. Any questions?
Why did the traffic light one go up?
Because we,
We just had to replace the one down, the whole thing down at Milgram. That was $7,000, I believe. And then we are replacing the whole one at the Hannaford. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's just on cycle. It doesn't, you can sit there all you want. It's not gonna change any sooner. It's on a timer, so it's
and
not
we
working properly.
originally had 11,375 in there as some money that was carry forward, and we're now down to just over $5,000.
Yeah. That one's gonna be expensive too.
And the emergency fund is 10,000. And the current balance with carry forward is 50,341.
Are you looking to build that up, Matt? For any major
Well,
thing that comes along, or?
that's, 50,000 for if we have a heating system here in this
Not
building.
gonna cover it?
Probably not gonna cover a lot.
Okay.
No.
If we have any, if we had some serious storm damage, or if we had any issues, then that's what we have to work from.
Okay.
So. So in short, no, the 50,000 is really a lot.
Yeah.
No, boiler probably costs 25 now, don't it? At least.
Well, we were, for this building too, when we originally looked at it, what, $85,000 for replacement?
I'm just thinking of a normal house,
Oh.
house boiler.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, about 8.
And we have spent nothing out of the emergency repair this year so far.
Okay.
And we, unless it's truly an emergency, and we haven't spent out of it. The library, I think, used a little bit of it last year, for boiler work there, but other than that, we've tried not to touch it.
Okay. We good on municipal buildings for now? Let's move on to CIP, capital improvements. And
We really,
Matt, take the lead.
so we again tried to hold to a lot of the extra purchases for reasons obviously within the budget to focus on some of the wages and staff, but the contract cruiser is in capital. That came in as a request from the sheriff's office, and the current cruiser is actually been pulled out of service already, and he's in I guess a loaner now. He'll be running a loaner cruiser until the end of the year. There's like 165,000 miles on the current one. I guess in the case of, I guess we felt out with the voters last year, and if the board wants to continue forward, then I think we're gonna need to change that so that we're not waiting to get into this predicament every other year, being behind 6 to 8 months in a cruiser that's apparently shouldn't be on the road. So contract cruiser, there's 50,000 in there, and Friendship Park handicap swing is $5,000. That was a submission from recreation, on the recreation's budget, and I pulled it and put it into purchase for capital equipment for $5,000. And it might be a little bit less than that, and I think you're familiar with that a little bit as well. So, under buildings, again, we're talking about repairs that we've been trying to, of course, we don't know what we're gonna get into, but we've had Travis Staples down to the library to look at the windows out front on the upper level, so the roof line, you'll see them there. But getting some outside work, replacing the windows.
Bunch of rot.
The rot that's going on.
Yeah.
And we just don't know how extensive it's gonna do, but he's thinking $15,000 is probably a good baseline to earmark.
Are those windows leaking?
Yeah, we have wood rot, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, to get
Yeah.
replaced.
And there's nothing up there. So.
The flooring is Old Town Hall side, office and hallways. I don't know if you've been in over there, I think Diane, I think you guys were over there for a budget meeting we had next door, but that room you went into there on the right-hand side, fixing the hallway, it's pretty shaggy.
Okay.
We had the room upstairs done, I don't know, 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago.
What are you putting down in there?
I would assume a very similar type of commercial type carpets.
Oh, carpet, okay.
I don't know what the hallway is currently, a linoleum of some sort. Some of you have to be careful because you don't want to become too slippery in the hallway.
This time of year is hard.
You know, this is horrible, but, so that's an estimate we got from Sanford for budget purposes. And then Jason, 24 is you?
Road paving, it's just another section, we kinda talked about it earlier. Be another reclaim section on Middle Road, in a base section. And then Ospey Hill with New Dam, some of our major traffic roads. Deering Ridge is pretty good. Roberts Ridge just got done. Just so you guys know, we spent about $215,000 just on paving at Roberts Ridge. So, and that's from townhouse to the pole line. It wasn't even the whole road, so that's how much that costs. You don't get too far. So,
How much are you doing on Middle Road?
it'll be another 5,400 feet.
How much
So-
have we done already?
We've done the West Road end in 5,400 feet. David paved 5,300 feet. And then we were trying to get section done this fall, but it just didn't happen with all the rain. The paving companies got really backed up, so I'm probably gonna, you'll probably see the last year's maybe roll over into next year's budget, and we'll just do it all at once. We'll probably do 8,500 feet, just get it done for 10,000.
Is that the total length, 10,000?
No,
What's
no,
the total
that's about a 6.5 mile road, so there'll be one more section to go, and then essentially 2 more sections to go, because the piece that David paved, he didn't reclaim it, he just paved it, so that section will fail before.
So
The
what we're
rest of
seeing
it.
this again next year, the Roberts Road, I mean, the Middle Road?
Most likely.
Okay. Setting my
We're gonna see it, you're gonna see it,
I gathered that
For the
last
years
year.
to come.
Yeah, I figured it's gonna be on here for a few years.
it's gonna be on there for quite a while.
That's a long road.
That's a big road.
It's a long road, but it's not just that road.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the proper way to, when a road is completely gone, it's the proper way to do it.
Yeah.
You're ripping everything up, you're changing culverts, if anything's galvanized, you're putting plastic in the ground. You don't have to worry about rot, changing culverts afterwards.
Mhm.
It's just the right way to do stuff. There's another step to this, I mean, you can add concrete, they did it on Deering Ridge Road, there's a section that they did, they fused in some concrete dust in with a reclaimer, and then they put a sheep's paw on it, which pounded it all in, and added a bunch of water, and supposedly that's the next best thing too, but that's
So-
even more expensive.
So John, what's not in front of you in this dollar amount, because it would be a separate question if the board wants to move forward with this, on the board over here, what we've been talking about for quite a while now is a proposed facility. So Jason and I started working on a display board, and we need to make other improvements to this, but, and we could do electronic versions as well, but that's kind of a conceptual idea of what we're proposed. The top left is current building, and the elevations you see in the center is what we've kind of sketched out for a proposed facility with some offices on the left-hand side, and there's a floor plan right in the center of the board. And then there you can see the side elevation picture on the bottom.
Yeah,
so this-
this side will have a wash bay, this side's the mechanics bay, and then there's a workshop up farther back with a storage room above it. And then all this side is office and break rooms, bathrooms, all that stuff for the guys. This is your lean-to side.
And we did actually, so the break rooms and office area is relatively light in comparison to this facility because they needed more bay space or
Yeah.
shop space or
Yep.
storage space for trucks.
There is a wash bay in here, so we'll be able to wash our vehicles inside during the winter months. I know this is hard to see, but this is the salt shed right now. We're gonna try to squeeze this baby in right here and keep the historical one with it for storage.
And that still gives us about 75 to 80 feet between the buildings
Okay.
for travel.
Which keeps us under, well, we don't have to do a sprinkler system inside, so.
Well, and that's all because we kept a 65-foot radius around the whole building. Right now, our initial estimated construction costs, which we think would be less than this, but we don't know until we actually go out to bid, because this would be a design build package. We don't have an architect involved. Architects involved become really expensive quickly. You'll contract with them and then they get a percentage of the overall price and you pay a lot of money. But based on what we're seeing for initial construction costs is, to use the number is 3.4 million for that. And it would very well come in less than that. But we won't know until you put it up to bid. You're looking at about $265,000 for fixed payment, right around 5%. We've got a couple proposals, we have another being worked on from Partners Bank, but Maine Community Bank is right around 5%. Partners may be a little bit less, but we may be able to look at that USDA Rural Development Community Facilities loan program, which is a little bit less than that. But that's ballpark of where we're at right now. We put a couple samples up on the table there for you to see on the corner. There's some ideas. When we looked at budget numbers last year, and we kind of projected out, we looked at our costs based on new equipment. And I'm not sold on the fact that you have to buy all new equipment to make this, to get into this, because we've taken the steps to get a truck last year, that the International. We've got the F600, we just need to finish upgrading with the plow system. And so, I'm not sure we need to go and spend $350,000 on a wheeler that's brand new, or 8 of them, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, the first year costs may be a little bit higher, but based on what we're seeing in the projections of numbers, those costs are going to significantly decrease. Next year is our last payment for the salt shed, which is $80,000 thereabouts. Last payment for the salt shed, but mind you, we're spending, what, $760,000 on a plow contract today. We know that contract is planned to expire next year. If we look at based on historical data, that's going to go up again for a 2-year extension, and then it went up a 30% increase. We don't know who's available to bid on it based on what we're seeing from years past. One question we keep on hearing is, who will be, if you can't find people to plow? Well, currently today, we have several employees, obviously, in Public Works, including Jason, and if we look at the model that Buxton uses, the Public Works Director also plows a route in Buxton. That would give us 4 guys to be able to do some plowing. And nothing says that at that point, we might need to reach out to somebody in town and put a bid out for a designated area of road. So maybe if we bring on a mechanic and another full-time person, and then create a reserve list of operators for the winter months. I think it's doable.
Yeah.
I know people are nervous about it. I guess I'd be more nervous about what are you going to do when you don't have a plow contractor that's going to bid on X number of roads. And you guys have had the same information that Jason and I have seen in the last couple of years. We don't know. But I don't think that if we don't tell you about the issues that we're seeing.
Oh, no, I think we'd be burying our heads in the sand if we didn't. But the one question I have about now is the purpose, say you get the 4 plow trucks or whatever, how many plow trucks you need. Is this facility, are they able to stay in there? So that's,
Yep.
I want to make sure I understand what we're,
Those are
obviously
drive-
you need a mechanic's bay, but
Yep, so this is you're talking like overnight?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So these are drive-in, drive-out days,
Okay,
Oh, okay.
boom, boom, boom. This one is not, this is the mechanic's bay.
okay.
You'll see his little workshop here. We did that, made this big enough for the fire truck, the ladder truck.
Mm-hmm.
Just so, as long as it's deep enough to get the longest vehicle that we get, maybe down the road it might not work, but you still got a bay right there. So yeah, those are drive-in, they should be able to back right in to each other and be able to, if they don't come in at the same time, then one can go one way, the other one can go the other way.
Okay, all right.
So there's 16-foot doors, 14 feet wide. So that's more than enough. I know they're still gonna have to go slow. There probably will be some accidents. It's just, comes with the nature.
Just gotta remember to put the wing up when you go
Yeah.
through.
So, everyone, they work 20 hours, you get tired.
It happens.
It happens,
It happens.
so.
I've seen it.
We've tried to make it so that
Talking
we're
from
not gonna have an
experience.
accident.
No, I've got back to the garage, and
It's
have
tough.
to work half of the night.
I just didn't want to leave
Pull back
the
up.
simple question unanswered, that's all. I want to
No.
make sure, yeah, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, so we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trucks in
Okay.
here.
That's-
No problem, 7 trucks actually, we can get one right there, so that's more than
Right.
enough.
My biggest goodness is if you're gonna have trucks, that wash bay is
Essential.
Yeah.
essential.
Yep.
That'll add to the life of your truck.
It's gonna be more in the package building.
3 to 5 years
It's
more
worth
in a
it.
truck
Yeah.
if you wash it.
Yeah. Whatever
And I've
that-
seen those trucks come in with 4 and 5 inches of salt up underneath them. And with a wash bay, you can go in and at least tip the body up and get 90% of it, but the state required you to crawl underneath it and wash it at least once a week, but, and then in the spring you could
Yeah.
oil bath it and whatnot, but,
Do these
without a
trucks,
wash bay, those trucks,
No.
they don't last.
do the trucks have to be plugged in at night?
Not inside, they
Inside?
won't.
Not inside,
No,
okay.
it'll be fine.
Okay.
Nope.
And the
They,
lead-to gives them-
really, they shouldn't have to be plugged in. There might be, it might be a situation where you gotta leave one out, where you can plug it in, but,
You don't recharge
the
it.
lean-to is,
We're not gonna recharge them.
no. No, there'll be no electric flat trucks.
In most cases, these newer trucks, they've all got a shut off on them so that there's no power going
Yeah.
to, from the batteries to the motors or whatnot, so the chance of fire is slim to
Slim.
none, yeah.
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 But the current facility, obviously, we have a new roof going on this year, but it's undersized for what you're trying to do. It's not big enough.
It's jam-packed now.
It's full,
Isn't it,
it's
Josh?
full, but it's not big enough.
They took over my Quonset hut. So now my stuff's outside.
But you're also looking at almost $1 million between Poirier and the sand salt,
Yeah.
Right.
between the two of them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're still gonna have
Yeah.
sand salt regardless, but,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But yeah, and the unknown, if Poirier or, if our contractor today is saying that he may not be in business, we don't know.
I mean, its health is good, hopefully it stays good, so,
Maybe we can phase into it that,
and that was something that we had discussed last year, when he took this 3-year, we even discussed getting a truck sooner, before we had a garage, to take a road or two.
So the budget we're looking at today is year 2 of his 3-year deal, is that correct?
Yep.
correct.
Okay.
So after year 3, he said
that's
he would,
rough.
negotiate if we weren't ready.
For 2 years.
He would negotiate with us for 2 years if we wanted to get, maybe get half the trucks.
And hopefully we would be
And then
ready
by
to
the
do it
next
on
2
our own
years, we're ready to
by the
go.
5th year.
Yep.
And how long would it take to build that building?
I would say probably
I think
a
we're told
year.
6 to 8 months, on a good time frame.
Yeah.
There's- It's really, it's a metal frame.
It's a metal
Metal
building.
frame
Yeah, it looks
building.
pretty
They
easy,
go up
like
quick.
it'll go up
It's-
quick, yeah.
There's
Supply and demand, you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
But I think they all pretty much say within a year.
And,
I was gonna say, you probably got 6 weeks of concrete work to do, and,
That was quite a bit of cost.
John, on who puts the
I
building
guess
up.
the reality is, you know,
Excavation.
if the board opts. to
Shouldn't be
have
much
voters-
site work, that was our hope to get it there.
Then you could do a design build
I
bid
think the
package.
3.5 was high with site work, but
I'd hate to wait.
we still don't know
And
where things are gonna be, so.
Well, if they approve it, and if they approve our voters to go to voters, and if voters do approve, then you could work on the bid language and put it out as the design build.
Are we hoping to do that in June?
I guess that's a conversation we need to have with the board. You know, I think we can push it out longer, but
No, you don't want to keep
You
kicking the
don't-
can
you
down the
don't
longer you
know
push
the-
it out, the more.
The biggest trouble is you don't know where that bid, where the vote's gonna go.
Right.
I mean, you still gotta convince the townspeople that it's time to plow or time to have a public works department.
I mean,
Even though you've got it, and it's pretty well started, in my mind, you've gotta convince
The townspeople.
the townspeople.
Absolutely.
And
the reality is, maybe this is the way to work on that education, is to get the vote out there. Because otherwise, obviously, you know what the engagement is, it's limited.
But if you
yes.
don't do it,
Yeah.
you're 6 months to a year away, so,
Right.
you know.
Or your price is going up. I mean, we
Oh.
all know if we went out and built that new, I mean, everyone
A new
here
house,
knows, if we went out and built a new house right now, it's through the roof.
Yeah.
If you did it in another year, it's gonna be higher than what it would be today. So,
So I guess we need to have, the board has to have that conversation, but obviously we want to, you know, we've been working on the elevations, the layout, the cost, initial costs, and some estimates of what the payments would be for an annual basis, but
I don't want to speak for the board, but in the conversations that we've had, I think everybody's pretty well on board. You know, there's a few questions somewhere there, but I think they're all in the frame of mind that the 700,000 is gonna go to $1 million before we get done.
Yeah.
And where's the end, you know?
Yeah.
And is there anybody out there that can do it?
That's the
Right.
thing.
Because
that's,
he was the only bidder this time, right?
He's been the only bidder.
Yeah.
For
I
a
mean-
couple of
15 years,
cycles,
right?
Couple of cycles.
and we broke it out again, the districts this time,
Yeah.
just to try.
there's people out there, but they don't have equipment, they don't,
Right.
they're not experienced, so.
So, right now, we do not have a question, you know, if the board gives us the nod that yes, we want to do this, we can reach up to legal, have the question drafted, you know, for the borrowing, because you have to go with the whole borrowing statement. Then I would definitely keep this up as a separate question in the warrant too.
This whole thing, do you want to borrow it for 15,000, 15 years, 20 years, or even 25 years? You know, I mean, the interest rate is, where'd they come in the other day?
5%, or they're getting back to us, but I'm just.
There's 2 or 3 banks
Just
that
under
are,
5, right around 5.
some of these banks are.
Is that fixed for 5?
Fixed for 5 years at increments, and then we'd have to redo it again at 6.
Okay.
And I'm not sure so he mentioned 25, I think our options for which banks go 25 year on that project may be reduced. Because 20 years is where most of them were capping it at.
Limerick's just built a fire station, and they've got quite a bunch of federal money, but they haven't seen it. You know, grant money and whatnot, and I don't know, God knows who you talk to up there, whether they're gonna get the grant money, even after they've approved it, you know? There's ways of getting some of this, but when you get tied into these grants and whatnot, there's so much more
I
that
was gonna say, there's
you've
a
got
lot
to
of
put
red
into
tape
it,
there.
and it isn't worth it when you get all said and done.
Sure.
Jason and I met with Pingree's office, Collins' office, and King's office last year. And basically, they were the same type of funding mechanism that Limerick did, because everybody said, oh, we need to do what Limerick did. They have congressional direct spending money, I believe is what it was.
It's gotta be voted on before they even
Well,
really wanna.
But the issue is depending on what that project is and where they have to fit it into a budget piece of one of the divisions within their legislative budgets in Washington. And basically, we went around the circle with this and had many different discussions with them. we looked at several other options where they pushed us off onto, quite frankly, we didn't qualify because we didn't have debt, and we didn't have a lot of it. We had the salt shed, and pretty much that was about it. And that was at that point $150,000-$160,000. So that's when they pushed us onto the USDA Rural Development Facilities Program, whereas they loan the money to you. They don't give you money, but they give you a low interest rate loan. We've explored all those options, and I'm going to say, there's no free money out there, just, you know.
As far as the vote, I think it's how it's presented to the people.
Yep.
You know, if you list like what it's costing us now,
I think that's.
that will also go into the building and the staffing and all that.
We've had the conversation before, if you
Yeah.
know, and I know Glenn, we've talked about it, you know, if you ask the normal taxpayer in Waterboro, what do you think you're paying for plowing a year? They have no idea.
No clue.
Not a clue.
No clue.
No, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So the one question I did have, we've checked with Buxton. We know that their facility, isn't as big as they thought it, you know, it's
Yep.
it's
So
not
your
as big as they
brewer's
thought it
pretty
was.
fast,
yeah.
So we've taken that into account with these plans, is that correct?
That's what we've added the
Yep.
lean-to on.
We added the
Okay.
lean-to. We're 2,000 square feet bigger, right? Buxton was 10.
At 10.
Yeah.
And,
So,
And this is 12?
yep. Yep.
and mind you guys will have some of the storage space with that old building as well.
Mhm.
You know, because we're not bulldozing that.
Okay.
So we'll have some cold storage, some storage over there as well.
Sure.
And this will bring us 20 years down the road, which is
Okay.
solid.
Not that much.
But
So basically, at this point, you guys are you driving this bus right now, or starting to?
I would like to see you drive the bus and say that, well, no.
No, that's what I want to hear.
Well, no, I would rather, and I'm just one man, but I would rather say that the finance committee supports going ahead, and then it's thrown into our lap,
Mhm.
so to speak. But I would love to have the finance committee say that you're supportive of going ahead
Mhm.
with this. And then we can go ahead and get this drafted
Sure.
to put onto the ballot. And then we sit back and let the townspeople decide where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jason, Matt, the selectmen probably need to inform the general public.
Correct.
Yeah.
How do you educate the general public today? We've got no local papers, we got the internet, we've got Facebook. Where do you go to educate? Because I'm in the
That's
same
$100,000
situation
question
with the
right
charter.
Yeah.
I mean, the best way to get it out there is, I hate to say it, but it's Facebook.
Well, and I think some of
But
that,
You're gonna have everyone telling you how you would do it.
And then
this
you
way and
got,
that way, and you're wrong, and that's
then
the
you
problem
got
with
this
that.
small
It's at
group
town hall, but that's gonna get
in
done.
town that's gonna wait till the 11th hour
Mhm.
and try to kill you.
Yes.
So, and I've seen it.
I don't know how they can get around the more, I don't know if there is a more effective way than the inefficient direct mailing.
and we've tried.
Because it's gonna eliminate a lot of the negatives of the Facebook
To every
presentation.
taxpayer.
And
Let me see
everybody
it.
should get it.
That's,
So we've tried the
You're right.
whole mailing thing.
but then it's gonna go right on that. That's the first thing they're gonna do.
Yeah.
They're gonna take a picture of it, they're gonna say, what's up in Waterboro, what's up with this?
You're gonna get that.
Yeah, and us three, we blocked it, cause
You have to.
we've gotten sick of it, you know, before we get.
We've
in
tried the
trouble.
mailing. That can't be the only avenue.
Oh, no.
Because we've tried it at the fire station a couple years ago,
Mhm.
and they sat in the car for the postal service that didn't mail any of our mailings. And we went and picked them up from the post office and remailed them again, and people said they never got them.
I think if we.
We had thousands of dollars spent on a public, of
Was this Waterboro mail?
I,
Post
our own
offices?
post offices.
Take it to a different town.
What's that?
Take it to a different town.
So, well, no, because our permit, we have to mail them from the
Oh,
Waterboro.
she's with it.
So we brought them back, but, we have some money in that planning.
Mhm.
We have some money, we might need to reach out to somebody in the marketing to help us with this, because we don't have a lot of resources internally for this. So we might need to do that, but I agree with Dwayne. I think that if you guys would take a position, and then we will go to the board with that.
Well, what I would think we'd want to do, I mean, we could certainly, I don't want to wing it. Can you guys put together a statement
Presentation for the public?
of our support? In other words, give me
We'll
something,
have
a statement of our support for this thing, so we can, will we make a motion and have a second on that? For us to present this to the town council, the selectmen, I should
So
say?
you want a warrant article?
Well, no, not necessarily that. I mean, I can say right now that, we've been discussing it, and I think the board, as a budget committee, we support the proposal that Jason has presented us, as far as we should move forward on the proposed public works facility.
We'll draft something for you for your next meeting next week.
I want to have something pretty concise that I can say, but yeah, I mean, I think if that's what we should do, if Dwayne thinks that's the most effective way for us to do it, I think that's what we should do.
We'll draft something for you for next meeting, next
Yeah.
week.
Draft something and have Laura send it out to us so we can look at it and say, yeah, this is great. That's what we'll vote on the next meeting.
And there may be some grant money out there that hasn't got a lot of ties to it.
Sure.
That, once we get started here,
I think if we voice our approval for it and then you guys know, okay, then we start looking for whatever grant money you may.
I wouldn't, just my 2 cents is, at this point, I would not tie the project to being managed on a grant.
Right,
Because
no.
as of today, we are not, I'm not aware of any grant money available. We may have some small dollars, but
Yeah.
we can sit and talk to these people and tire kick all day with them, but we're not making headway.
No.
And we're, quite frankly, running out of time.
Yeah.
Matt wrote a grant the other day, and what'd you say, 12 or 14 hours involved?
It was done.
And it was peanuts when you get all said and done. Great money,
EMS.
so you waste a lot of time.
Sure.
So the state, I don't know if you're familiar with it, the state had a big pot of money they wanted to do for EMS. We've heard about EMS suffering statewide, and they gave out, was it 40 million, I think it was, statewide. And basically, all services would qualify. If you had a service, you qualify for $15,000. And based on where we were at, we thought we were gonna get more. It was, I think we were getting 18,000, or it was in that ballpark. I said, why are we even bothering with this? Because
By the time you put all that work in.
it was ridiculous, but anyhow. We'll have something back to you for next week for that,
That'd be great.
so.
That'd be great. All right, so I think, thank you.
Thank you.
Jason, Josh, I appreciate this. We'll work on that next week. I think what we should do now is vote on the items that we've gone over today. And we'll go in reverse order like I like to do. Starting with Department 92, capital improvement. Did you say this number might change, the capital improvement, or no?
For that, you mean?
Well, no, in general. In other words, I'm gonna have us vote on the $327,000 showing.
I wouldn't add that to that.
No.
Yeah,
No, because we put in the 50 last year,
right,
so we
Yeah.
don't need to put any more in it right now.
not right now.
Okay, so Department 92, capital improvement, do I have a motion to approve the $327,000 for the budget?
I will motion.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Department 35, municipal buildings. Do I have a motion to approve the $103,250?
All motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor? And Department 80, health and sanitation. Do I have a motion to approve the $157,120?
I'll make a motion to approve that now.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? And back to the beginning, Department 85, Public Works. A motion to approve the $1,956,472.
I will motion.
I will second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? That takes care of the departments for tonight. Now, I looked at the minutes that Laura sent out, and the question we had on the 18th has been remedied. That's all set, we already approved it anyway, but just so you guys know, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 22nd?
I have to abstain because I wasn't here.
You weren't here then? That's right, okay.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
And any more discussion? I looked at it today, and they look fine. All those in favor? And a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting, the 25th, which looked fine to me when I looked at them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
If there's no discussion, all those in favor? Okay, anything else?
Just March 5th is a Tuesday night. Can we tentatively have you plan for the selectmen's meeting that night? That'll give us time to finish dressing this up once you guys have finished up, wrap up next week, if we have any issues between
So next week we have Todd.
and any wrap-up items.
Okay. But then have us, yeah.
And then we'll plan to be able to get, so we can clean up the numbers, make sure all the columns are filled in, and then meet with the board on the 5th.
Okay.
And that still gives them plenty of time, because I think last year we were a little bit later, so.
Right.
That gives them time so they can do their review. So,
Is that, excuse me, is that before the board's meeting or during? That meeting?
Board meeting.
On the
In other words,
5th,
you wanna
are they
do it as-
meeting with the board at Tuesday? At the board's meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. If there's nothing else, motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All those in favor?
So our next meeting is